Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Zoe Graziella and sorry. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite Netflix shows right now and shows that you should be watching if you're not already or haven't seen them. So last year I filmed a video like this and I wore this sweatshirt, so I decided to dig it up and I found it in my closet, so decided to wear it again for this video. The first TV show is Baby. It is an Italian TV show. So I'm just going to give you a quick little overview of the show. There's this girl, Chiara, and she goes to this really nice private school, and she does track and field, and she's kind of in with the in crowd, I guess. And there's this other girl, I forgot her name, but she's not friends with these people. I think she used to be friends with them, but some stuff happened. You kind of see what happens in the show, why they stopped being friends, because they kind of tormented her a little about something that she did that was not her fault at all. And so Chiara and this other girl become friends, and they party together, I guess. And Chiara kind of starts this relationship with this guy who I think is the son of some political leader, I don't remember. And this boy grew up being really poor, and he didn't know who his dad was. Now he's 16, 17, and he finds out who his dad is and goes to the same school with all these rich kids, and he's assimilating. But the show is kind of Gossip Girl-esque, except without Gossip Girl. It's just kind of the hijinks that these kids get up to, and all the drama and the things that they do to each other. The second show that I really like right now is Travelers. During my Christmas break, I watched this show so much. I'm on season 3 now, I think, but it is so good. So essentially, it's about these people from the future who come back to the present time now that we live in, but for them it's the past. They come back, try to fix things that happened now, I guess, because what we've done to the world caused ramifications in the future, political ramifications, just a ton of different things, and they've come back to deal with that. And there's a lot of drama because they're not coming back as themselves, in their bodies. They come back in the body of someone who is about to die. So they take their body, it's the host, which is kind of weird, but that itself adds drama to it, because then they have to be in the same relationships that their host body was in and do the same things, live the same life, along with going on missions to essentially save the world. So if you're into sci-fi and also drama-y type stuff, this is it. My third show is Bad Education. So this show is a British show. I started watching it a while ago, probably 2 years ago. It was on YouTube. I saw it on YouTube and I started watching it. But it's also on Netflix. And it's really good. So it's about this teacher. The actor, I don't know if you've ever seen the show Fresh Meat. The actor who plays JP in Fresh Meat plays the main character in Bad Education. He's a teacher, and he's essentially just teaching these kids, and they get into some different hijinks, and literally everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong. So it's really funny. It's very comedic. The fourth show is Aquarius. So this show is about Charles Manson, actually. So there's this detective who is trying to find Charles Manson because he not abducts, I guess, but like he takes this girl. It's super complicated because the girl's dad has had a relationship with Charles Manson. But yeah, it's like super dramatic. Kind of see some of the crimes that Charles Manson did commit and the murders, along with like how he got all of these people to be a part of his cult, and the police trying to find him as well. It's really interesting. You see also the lives of the police officers and everything that is happening in their lives as well. It's not like this is exactly what happened type of thing, but it kind of gives like a brief of what happened, along with adding extra drama and fiction to it as well, along with telling the true story. The next show is Frontier. So this show is about fur traders, and it has Jason Momoa in it. I literally love him so much. But yeah, Jason Momoa is one of the main characters. He's a fur trader, and so you get like a lot of like this drama, because like there are different relationships with different fur traders and different people. There's also like a history aspect to it. I'm really into shows that are not historical but are period. I like period shows a lot. I just like them. I've always loved them. I've loved period movies as well all my life, so I really like it for that reason as well, I guess. And there's a lot of drama in it, murder, crime. It's action-packed. There's a lot of fighting. There's some scenes that I would not like recommend everyone watching because they're kind of gross, I guess. But yeah, anyway, I said that it was period, and it is a period piece, I guess. So it takes place in the 1700s. And Jason Momoa's character, as I said, is a fur trader, but he's also like an outlaw because he steals from other fur traders. There's a huge amount of drama, like his own love life of other characters. That adds a ton of drama to the show. But it's really, really good. You don't have to just be into period pieces to like it. There's so many aspects to it, and that's why it makes it all around like a really, really good show. And there's this show, Dairy Girls, which I watched recently, and well, by the time I post this, it'll have been later on. But it is so funny. Like, it's like just like a nice teen show. I can't even like really think of anything to compare it to, but it's just a bunch of hijinks that these teenage girls get up to. They live in Ireland, and you just see their lives and all of like the drama and the stuff that they do. And it's funny because it's like they just do things that normal teenagers would do, except there's an added level to it to obviously create more drama and more comedy to it. But there's definitely a realness to it about like you can watch it even though you know it's so fake and like that might never happen in real life. There's an aspect to it where you're like, oh yeah, I felt that feeling. I know exactly what that's like. I might not have done that specific thing, but I know what that feels like. And that's why it's really great and really good like teen show to watch. The next TV show, it's also a teen show, is Sex Education. This just came out recently, and it is so good. If you've ever seen the TV show Big Mouth, it's like that, but the people, but not like it too, because the people are in high school, but it deals with a similar, kind of like a similar story, you know, growing up, finding yourself, figuring out who you are as a person, along with, sex, because that's what the show's about. So it's just teenagers kind of figuring out the world really and figuring out everything about themselves, and their friendships and their relationships with their parents, and it's just really good. At first, the first episode, like for the first 5 minutes, I was kind of confused. I thought it was like from the 80s, not from the 80s, but like it was supposed to take place in the late 80s, early 90s, just because of the way everyone was dressed. But it's supposed to take time in the present time, but just the way they're dressed, it's like, this just seems kind of like late 80s, kind of 90s vibe to it. But they have the iPhones, so obviously 2000s. Next show is Atypical. So this is another like teen show. It discusses autism. The main character has autism, and kind of him dealing with autism in school, his personal life, relationships, his family, how all of this has an effect on the family, on him, how other people view him, how people treat him. It's really good. And at the end of the day, it's just a teen TV show discussing issues that every teenager deals with, like going to college, making friends, finding people you care about, being with the right people that matter to you. And yeah, it just deals with, I guess, being a teenager, which is something that I think people throughout every age kind of understand because they were all there once. The 9th show is Dance Academy. This was one of my favorite shows growing up. I loved it so much. I remember, I think it was like in the 5th grade, I watched all 3 seasons on Netflix like in a week or something. Like, I just loved the show so much. I fell in love with all of the characters. The actor, Jordan Rodriguez, I think that's his name, I had the hugest crush on him. So big. He's also acted in The Fosters. He played Mariana's boyfriend at one point. I fell in love with all of the characters. And obviously, as you can tell from the title, Dance Academy, it's about dancers at a dance academy. So the show takes place in Australia. And just their lives, the drama of it, being a dancer, being a teenager, being away from your family because they are away, their relationships with their parents. There's a huge amount of development in the characters just because they go from being like they're supposed to be like 15, 16 to being like 18, 19 years old. And these actors are also like in their late teens. They're like between the age of 16 to like 19 to when they start filming, and then by the end they're adults. They're like actual adults. So you kind of see their progression as actors and their characters' progression as people, and it's really, really interesting. And it's just a good show. The last show is American Vandal. So this show, it's kind of gross. Just gonna put that out there. It is a gross show. So the show is like a fake docu because the show is supposed to be a documentary that like these 2 kids are filming, but they're the actors, obviously. But it's supposed to be like a documentary. But it's like of the most ridiculous things. Like the 2nd season was about a kid who poisoned his school, and like everyone just pooped everywhere. It's kind of gross, but it's them like figuring out who did the crime. And yeah, it's like there's crime to it, but it's obviously not like crimes of murder or anything like that. It's the things are kind of funny sometimes, and yeah, it's funny. Like if you can like laugh at it, you have to be able to laugh at it because like the things are just so ridiculous at some points of the show, but it's good too. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. Those were the 10 shows that I really like, that I think you should watch if you haven't already. They're really good. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye!